welcome back. Today, so we're gonna be doing our like mid-year top 30 like tier list. List. Usually people they do that like at the end of the year, but I saw some people on Twitter like Gio, for example. He posted his top 30, and other people started posting theirs on Twitter. So I'm like, okay, let me get on this trend. To do like our mid-year top 30 strongest character list of One Piece. Um, let's see. I just gonna be me and Leo. So yeah, if you want to see like more content from us, subscribe. If you want to see more content from us, we're gonna be hopefully posting like weekly. I have some ideas, but right now, since I'm living with my parents, I cannot do like everything. But once I move out, which is hopefully soon, I'm gonna start making more content. Yeah, hopefully soon. So yeah, if you want to see more content from us, please subscribe. And Leo, you're cute.
Hit the bell, just like companies hit the edit profile button after June ends.
I wasn't expecting that one. I wasn't expecting that one. So yeah, please subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see more content from us. So who's going to start? Do you want to start or I start?
I mean, you're the host. You should start.
Okay. So um, I guess if you
So wait,
saw
wait,
uh uh
wait, are
uh
we gonna are we gonna do it like you say five, I say five?
yeah, we're gonna do it like last time. I say five, you say five. And we're gonna be going, and then when we reach the top five, we go one by one. Like last
Huh.
time. Yeah. Speaking of last time, I'm it's the same characters. Just like last time, it just some of them are in different positions, of course, because a lot of stuff happened. From the beginning of the year to now, a lot of stuff happened. So I was reading
Mine
Wano.
has different characters, so
Ah, you have different characters. Oh wow, interesting. But yeah, like I was saying, a lot of stuff happened from like the beginning of this year to now, and that's why I kept the same characters, but now they're like in different positions. At least some of them. Another thing, just like last time, I did like a system. So for example, wait, I'm not prepared, but if I remember correctly, for example, blue. Let me look it over real quick before I say uh, uh okay, yeah. So blue is gonna be like low first commander, and then color green is gonna be like a medium first commander level. Yellow is gonna be high first commander level. Orange is admiral level, and red is jungle level. So that's how I have my organized. So every character is basically first commander level and above. I don't have no second commanders or third commander because I think at this point in the series, like the top tiers in the series are like first commander level and above. So that's how I have mine organized. What about you, Lil? Is yours like last year, or do you have a system?
nah. My system
No.
is wife got in the moment, so
Okay.
I was
Okay.
vibing, go
Okay.
smooth.
Okay. So that's still a good system, because some people do it like that. You know. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to give my bottom five. So number 30 to 26. So my number 30 is Rob Lucci, or how I like to call him, Robertito Gucci, you know, Robertito. So and number 29, I have Sabo. Okay, I know it's a little bit low for some people, but I will give my thoughts. As we go on. Number 28, number 28, Boa. Number 27, Junbei. And number 26, Weeble. So those are my bottom five. Any complaints, Lil, or like anything, something that stands out for you? Um,
I'm honestly surprised that yours has Lucy so low. Honestly.
mm, okay. Interesting. So you say you're bottom five, and then let's discuss. Let's go like
Uh,
that. Let's do it like that.
okay. So at number 30, I have Sabo. At
Really? Wow.
29, I have Raizo.
Okay, Rise. Okay. Okay, the I think
It's
I can
always the
be.
number 29s in
It's
this in these beds.
yes, think backstory to that, so just in case if you're not aware.
Don't spoil it. Just link it to Molly's bed.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was going to say go watch the other top
Molly's
30
bed.
the other top 30 video that we have in the channel. Viewer discretion is advised. Um number 29, you're not going to predict who is number 29 in that list. So go watch that.
And you're not gonna be prepared.
You're not going to be prepared, just like how I was, just like how Leo was when he watched the video. And I always link that video in all the descriptions, since it's a crazy video. Like it's one of my favorite videos in the channel.
Oh,
So yeah, yeah.
same,
So
same. It's
so
top
so
two, honestly.
yeah, yeah. So go watch that after watching this one. Uh, yeah, yeah. So okay, so number 29, Rise. So the
Yes,
eighth. Wait, his nickname is Raizo the Mist. So the eighth Hokage Raizo of the Mist made it into the list. Wow, that's crazy.
yes.
The sixth Emperor. No, wait, no, he's the fifth Emperor now. Since we're back to four. Wow. Well, okay. So who's number 28?
28, Doflamingo.
Okay, 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 okay. No more character. Okay, Mingo. Okay, 27.
Horrible. 27, Weevil.
Okay, okay, we will. Okay, and
And 26, this might surprise you.
okay, I'm scared.
Dragon.
Okay, 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 okay. I was about to say don't hug me, I'm scared, but then you you said dragon. Okay, okay. Yeah, okay. What do you say? Dragon will surprise me.
Cause cause I always put, like, last year I put in a random list in the tier list. Now I put in at 26. Dragon is always like a wild card when it comes to
Yeah,
me. So
yeah, he is. He is. He definitely is. Okay, and the everyone tier list, he's basically a wild card because we haven't
yeah,
seen anything. We haven't seen anything from him. Usually, people put him like in the top tens at least. That's like the safest bet. I don't put Dragon in my list because we haven't seen anything. Also, I think he's not even top 30 material, honestly. But that's just me. From the stuff we have seen, like um like I always say, this is like my go-to thing when it comes to Dragon. Every time we see him, he's always sweating. He's always worried about the state of the world. Like if he's actually strong, he will not be, sweating, worried of what's happening in the world. Last time we saw him, he was sweating Kawabaka Kingdom. Like that's why, like, if Oda really wants to portray him as a top 30 or top 10 character wise, strength or whatever, I think he should not be doing stuff like that. Showing him
yeah,
worried. Because every time we see the Yonko, they're never worried. They never worry about the state of the world because they know that they're strong enough to handle it. So
yeah, yeah.
I that's a little like my little rant about Dragon. I always do one. I
Yeah,
always, every time every time someone mentions Dragon, I always go on a rant about what I think about the character. Anyway,
yeah.
now, but anyway, let's go back to we're not going I'm not going to pretend like you just said Rizzo number 29. Yeah, I'm not gonna skip over that. So
I mean, you're not gonna question the fact Sawa's number 30.
no, because if it was me, Sawa will not be on my list. But because I also think Sawa is not top 30 material. But but I have to because narrowly speaking, he has to be top 30. So that's why I have him on my list.
Yeah,
But so I'm fine with Sawa number 30. Rizzo on the other hand, I'm okay. I think I know why you place Rizzo so high up.
yes,
But
yeah.
I want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. Why is
I
Rizzo number
mean,
29?
it's what he did at the Onigashima raid with the water. Honestly,
Okay,
like
okay,
that
okay,
shit invalidates like 90% of the overworld users. Honestly,
okay. I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
like
It's
he isn't
mm-hmm.
that strong, like battle wise, but like, come on, like not many users are prepared to like face off against like getting drowned.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. Only like the admirals, for example, they're prepared for
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah.
Um, I don't think any other character is like prepared for. Uh, um, no, no, no.
Flying user.
Oh yeah, a flying user like Big Mom, for example, she could use her homies. Dragon. I mean, not Dragon. Kaido. He probably Kaido probably doesn't even
Kaido the
like.
actual dragon.
Yeah, Kaido the actual dragon. He probably cannot even drown since his Delphi is the fish fruit, which some people keep
Yeah,
forgetting. Some people keep forgetting that his Delphi is actually the fish fruit model Ashura dragon.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. He's basically Gyarados, honestly.
yeah, yeah. Um. So I like you, and you still could use your Delphi underwater. Luffy has done it. Robin has done it. So other characters, so on and so forth.
Yeah,
So I'm pretty sure Kylo could do it. And since he's a fish, I'm pretty sure he could breathe underwater. He probably just cannot move, but um, and I understand why, since you mentioned that about the Rizal thing. I understand why you placed him on number 29. I think it's blasphemous, to place Rizal in the top 30 list, because because yeah, that was very impressive, but everything else about him is not like top 30 material. But I understand. I get it. I get it. You know what? You know what? I'm pretty sure you're not gonna be the only one. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a dude at the end of the year. For example, Taekwon. I told you about Taekwon. I'm not sure if you remember Taekwon.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. I know.
yeah. So for example, like I think someone like Taekwon would probably place Rizal on the list. He has done worse before, so I won't be surprised if he does that. There's a bunch of other people that I see placing Rizal somewhere in the top 30. But yeah, honestly, you know, it shocked me. It shocked me. I was surprised.
I
I was
mean,
surprised.
it's a one trick pony. Not gonna lie, but it's a trick that
Yeah,
works.
yeah. It's a one trick pony. Yeah, that's that is true. That's true. But also, you gotta think of it this way. If he could do that with water, that means he could do that with a bunch of other stuff. So
Yeah,
technically his powers are like top tier material. He himself, he doesn't have the strength, but his ability is top tier material. So imagine
yeah.
someone. So for example, imagine someone like Kaido having that ability. That would be crazy. Like
Yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah. I understand. I get it. I always been meaning to do this drawing, to do this fan art of Raizo as a Naruto character. You know that I know you haven't seen Naruto, but I know you probably have seen Naruto's like cloak form that he's all yellow with like glowing yellow. You must have seen it before.
Isn't that like the stage mode? I think it's called.
Uh, n- no, Sage Mode is something completely different. It's like
Okay,
yeah, but it's like the cloak form. He's like all yellow. But you've seen it before. You've seen it before.
maybe.
Maybe okay.
Who knows?
So so um I always been meaning to draw Raizo like that because there's a joke in the community that Raizo he's the eighth Hokage. The Hokages are basically like the presidents or the governors of certain areas.
That I do know.
Yeah, yeah. So Raizo, he's the eighth Hokage, or he's the sixth emperor. Now that we're back to four, now he's the fifth emperor. But but yeah, I always wanted to do that. Now since you have Raizo at 29, I have to do it for the video. Now I have to do it. So where I could place in the video. Okay. So far, besides that, that's like the most. Besides that. Okay. Now, why the Flamingo is 28? If I'm correct, last year he was higher, right? Wasn't he higher
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
Where was he? Where was he last year? If you remember.
Let me look up the other list on.
Oh, okay.
Looking at now, he's 25. He didn't drop that much.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then Weevil, where was he? He's 27. Okay. Last year.
Weevil last year was like 30 or 29. Like I just placed him higher because, well, we haven't seen much of him. So I'm assuming he's gonna be tougher then. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, yeah. I agree. Weevil, he's one of those characters that the less we see him, the stronger he has to be, because we're in the end game now. So I'm pretty sure although he's like every character that we haven't seen fight so far, they're probably gonna be top tier because he's been saving them for like the end game. So that's why I have Weevil, 27. Last year I had him in 24. He did lower, but it's because I had to put other characters higher, so that's why he lowered. Um,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah. Okay, and then Dragon 26.
yeah,
It's understandable. Like with you could place them anywhere,
yeah.
and you could
Honestly,
argue. Uh huh.
I placed him lower because like he like Star will get captured. I'm like, that's on you, man. That's on you.
Yeah. Another thing I forgot to say in the beginning when I mentioned Sabo. When I brought up Sabo. There's a rule: no dead characters, and I think he's dead. But we have to. Yeah. you know.
It's not confirmed. I'm pretty sure he ain't dead. He's captured
Yeah, I
on
know.
death row.
I know it's not confirmed, but like the running joke in this channel is going to be that everyone is reading his obituaries, and until that's and until that gets confirmed or deconfirmed, I'm just going to keep saying that his obituaries are being aired 24/7, 365. You know, but and okay, yeah, that's all. Okay, so now let's go to my 25. To my 25. Who is my 25? Oh, okay. Yeah. It's the Flamingo. Number 25 is the Flamingo. And then number 24, King. Number 23, Marco. 22, I have Kid. And 21, I have Law. Okay. And then now, Leo, you say your next five for that way we could like discuss. So who's your
Okay,
25?
so we actually matched in a couple because I
Okay.
had 25 with Jinbei,
Mm.
24 I have King,
Oh,
23 I have
okay.
Lucci,
For
22 I
Vegito.
actually have Kid, and
Okay.
21 I have Sanji.
Oh, really? Now, okay, no, no, okay. You said 22 Sanji? No,
21 Sanji,
oh, okay,
22
20.
Kid.
Okay, 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 okay. Wow. So, you 25 was Jinbei, and
Yes.
then 24 King, which we got the same. 23 Lucy, and then 22 Kid, and 21 Sanji. Okay. Why Lucy is high? Why Lucy is way higher than Sabo? I'm curious. What do you think that?
Oh, CP0. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure CP0 are better trained than the revolutionaries.
True,
Sawa
true.
Sawa isn't having a good run, honestly.
Sabo, Sabo, he's not. That's true. That's true. Sabo, he's not having a good run. And despite that, I know people are still going to put him like in the top 20 above, because he's Sabo. That's how people see him. But in my opinion, the
I
more
like the character.
yeah, yeah. But in my opinion, the more series goes on, the lower I see Sabo because other characters have been way more impressive than Sabo. In my opinion. And then but I still think that's a huge gap. I still think there's like a huge gap between Lucy and Sabo, in my opinion. Because you have Lucy over King. That like to me that's crazy. That you have Lucy over King.
I mean,
Um,
to be fair, I'm not that impressed by King.
same, but
I'll
still,
be
yeah.
honest.
Uh,
I could argue to place Lucci 24, King 23. Like when it's that 1 point of difference, like I could argue it.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
it was what I was feeling at the moment.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
What I was vibing with.
yeah, that's what you're. Yeah, but I don't know. It's still crazy. Even though I think King he's not that impressive, compared to the first commanders. But like I have he's the lowest of the first commanders, in my list. Um, but still, like King, he's still, like for example, he's he's very hard to injure because he's Lunarian. He's very fast, but when he's fast, you could injure him. but he's like very fast, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they will, So there's that, and also from what we seen, to injure him, you probably need Conqueror's coding. I don't know if that's what that what we could imply because of the fight with Zoro, and not everyone has Conquerors, and not everyone could conquer code. So I guess you gotta think of it that way. But there are, like I said, there's other ways to defeat King because when he's fast, he's like you could hurt him, you know,
Right.
and that's
He,
and what are you gonna say?
yeah, and like yeah, in that case, like he's like a glass cannon.
Yeah, yeah, and when he's like when he has the flames, that means he's very durable, um, very hard to crack. He's like very strong. So, but he's slow. So he's like one of those characters that if there was Smash Bros, he's like one of those characters that like could switch like from state, I guess like a choke, basically, a choke with the Monados. So basically that's how using Smash Bros analogy,
Yeah,
with King. Yeah, yeah. And then you have Kid at 22. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the reason why you placed Kid higher because last year he was like 30, 29 for you. He was like
yeah,
low.
he was very low.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I thought I put him higher than you would put him. Honestly, honest to God.
because in this channel we I'm a Kid hater. I don't hate him like blindly because of course he's higher than last time in my list, but still, I'm pretty sure a bunch of other people are going to. I'm pretty sure some people are going to play some like 15, the 15 range. You know what I mean? Like 15 to 14 range. That's where I see
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of. That's where I see a bunch of other people placing him, and but something that surprised me. Yeah, Sanji at 21. Yeah.
Yes.
The next character better be Zoro. Don't answer that. But the next character better be Zoro. Um, but anyway, um,
No comment.
yeah, no comment on that. But in my case, I have Law because like deep down, like in my heart of hearts, Leo, just like how Bill Burr said in that one skit, in your heart of hearts, um, I really want to put Law a little bit higher, well, slightly higher, but deep down, the narrative is that Kid and Law, they're equal. At least that's the narrative that Oda wants to, portray in the series. But like not sure if I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I don't think I did, but I've been rereading Wano, and before and for this I read the chapters that came out this year. So 10, I forgot where, 1037. I think that's the first chapter this year, if I'm correct. 1037 or 1036. Don't quote me on that.
Me
But
too.
but yes, I read the chapters that came out this year in preparation for this video, and those chapters were the kid. It started. It was like the Kid and Law versus Big Mom fight all the way to the Luffy versus Kylo and all that jazz. So in the Kid and Law versus Big Mom, throughout the whole fight, Big Mom, she doesn't even acknowledge Kid. She's always mentioning Law this, Law that. Oh, Law, Ultra Fogger, your ability is weird. Ultra Fogger, your abilities, they're scary. Or, like, I need to watch out for you. Stuff like that. Basically, but not once she mentions Kid. Not once. Even though he's there, he's he's doing something, but still, Big Mom doesn't acknowledge him once. So that's why my eyes, Kid, he's just a disappointment for me. Honestly, I don't know. Like, like, this guy, he's supposed to have Conqueror's hockey. He doesn't use it once. Like in the manga, he doesn't use it once. He hasn't used it once throughout the whole manga. And then in the anime, when I know this scene's kind of filler, but when he uses it in the anime for the first time, the dude doesn't even pass out. The dude just flinches. Like, oh, whoa, what's this? And and it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad for a kid. It's not a good look up for a kid. And but the
Damn,
kid,
even Toy is laying him down. Damn.
yeah, even Toy is letting him down. um, and then kid fanboys are always praising him. I really don't know what they see in kid. Honestly don't know what they see in kid. And there's someone tweeted, I think it was Gio, it's because Gio, he's a kid fanboy. I know you probably don't know who Gio was. Yeah, the people who are watching, the people who are watching, they're like in the One Piece Twitter community. They probably know who I'm talking about. Gio's a cool guy, so what I'm saying is nothing like, nothing like attacking him or whatever. I follow him. I like some of his takes. Um, so he tweeted when the bounty posters came out. When Kid No Bounty came out, he tweeted that Kid, he looks raw in the picture. Like, look, he looks cool, right? And then Leo, the meme of the kid, he's taking a picture with his dog, and he's trying to make the dog look menacing, but he can't. And the caption is, he's trying to he's trying to make that dog look scary, but he can't. Wait, let me look up the actual. Okay. So the image says he trying his best to make that motherfucker look vicious, but he can't. I don't know if you've seen it's a people use it on Twitter a lot. I don't know if you've seen it, but
I don't think I have. So
okay. Wait, let me. I guess I could send it to you really quick, where you can know what I'm talking about. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp, uh,
oh, God.
where you can see it really quick. So when he tweeted that, and that's the first thing I thought. Like, oh, he's trying to make him look vicious, but he can. He's trying to make kid look vicious, but he can. Um, but and that's why I think Law should be a bit higher. But narrowly speaking, since it took Kid and Law to Big Big Mom, that's why I have them together. That's why I think other people should have them together. Some people usually separate them by huge gap. Other people, they keep them close by. I'm one of those people that they keep them together. And
Foreshadowing?
yeah, foreshadowing. Foreshadowing is a narrative device. I don't know if you use. So um so yeah. I think there was something else. I think there was something else I was going to mention, but I blanked out for a moment. Um, if I remember, man, I don't know. Yeah. I was going to say something, but I was going to continue on this Ken Law thing, but then, but then I sent you the meme and I completely forgot the next thing I was going to say. Um, man, it be like that. It really do be like that. Well,
I think you'll have another opportunity. Not gonna lie.
yeah, but man, I completely forgot. No, like, I don't know. You go now. Now you. No wait, it's my turn now, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I
22,
now.
16.
Yeah. Maybe I'll remember. I don't know, but I know I was going to say something. I was going to continue with with this Ken Law discussion. So yeah, so 20. My 20 is Yamato. 19 Sanji. 18 Zoro. 17 Shiryu, and 16 Karakuri. So, like I said, Leo, your next character should be Zoro, but let's see who you place at number 20. So who's your number 20?
Well, sorry to disappoint you, but number 20 is Yamato.
Oh wow. Okay.
19 is Katakuri.
Wow. Karakuri is pretty low, Leo. Okay. Who's
18
next?
is Zoro.
Okay. The next character better be Shiryu, but let's see.
Yes. 17 is Shiryu.
Okay, good. Okay.
And 16, for completely opposite to you, is Law.
Wow, Law is so high. Wow, Law.
Yeah, fuck the narrative.
Yeah,
I
wow.
actually believe he carried the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, he did carry the fight. Now I remember what I was going. Okay, good. Now I remember what I was going to say. It says since I mentioned my next characters, we could continue this conversation. So,
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I do think Law carried that fight like heavily. He heavily carried the fight. But without Kid, he will he there was no way he was going to win without Kid. Like he needed someone. Like not necessarily Kid. He just needed anyone that was like around his level to, like, let's say for example, I'm pretty sure if he had Yamato helping him, he could have won. They could have won. If he had
Yeah, yeah,
Sanji, I'm pretty sure they could have won. If he had Zoro,
yeah. I agree.
you know, if he had Marco,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, like anyone that level, he will have won that. They will have won that fight because they will be tag teaming whatever. But it just in the case of like since we got Law and Kid, in my opinion, he didn't do much. He didn't do much. Like like I just remember one of the things I was going to say was Law. Throughout the whole fight, there was throughout the whole fight, Law did something, anything, and then Kid he continued with attack, right? And then there was a point in the fight where Law mentions Law mentions this to Kid, and then Law is like, "Yo, Kid, yo, Eustace, yeah, you keep attacking every time I do my." You every time I do a flashy attack, you do your flashy attack. I'm not your opening act. And then Kid being Kid, he Kid big mad. He he answers angrily and he says something. And then there's this other funny scene where I think it's the scene after this thing where Kid he's like, you don't know what I got. I have more things in my bag, and Law jokingly he's like, what's the next thing you gonna do? A hippo or elephant? What's the next thing you gonna make? So and it's true. Like Law, he's not lying. He's telling the truth. Like the meme. Why you bullying me? I'm right. That's the that's
Yeah,
Law right. Yeah, that's Law right there. Why you bullying me? I'm right. So and then after that little conversation, um, Big Mom, uh, like before that conversation, Big Mom she got hit by a shock Willie, and then Kid he did if I'm correct, Kid he did Cornadillo, the bull.
yeah. Cornelio, yeah.
Yeah. So and that's why Law had that little conversation because he knows that. And then Big Mom, after they had a little conversation, she was standing up, and word for word, bar for bar. I'm not going to quote it, but basically she said, "All Trafalgar, that bit of yours, they're dangerous or something like that. They're strong. Like you managed to crack my ribs, even to crack some of my ribs, and her bones were cracked." Kid fanboys, they like to, the way how they spin this is that they're making it seem that Kid was the one who did, but no, it was a combination of Kid and Law, and Law he carried that because if it wasn't for the puncher, I mean the shock Willie, that wouldn't have happened. I like, even though I'm a Kid hater, I have to admit that Kid he did something because he did attack Big Mom immediately after the shock Willie, so he broke some bones, but the most of the damage was Law because Big Mom she only credits Law, she only mentions Law, even though even though Kid did the Cornadillo, you know,
Yeah.
so and so it's just I really honestly I really don't know what Oda thinks when he's writing Kid. Like how does he? I want to know how he perceives Kid. Like I'm really interested in how Oda perceives Kid, because like maybe he thinks that he's actually making Kid look cool or whatever, and he's like, yo, I'm cooking something with Kid, like well, Kid he's cool whatever, but it just the stuff that he has done, in my opinion, doesn't make Kid looks cool. It doesn't make him look good because every character it looks the opposite. Everything that has happened is like the opposite. Like Kid, he's not like as cool as all the like he's trying to portray him as. So I'm okay. I'm okay with Law being like way like in your list. I'm okay with Law being 16 because I do think there's a gap between Kid and Law. But again, like I mentioned,
Yeah.
I also like to think about the narrative, and narratively speaking, Oda likes to portray them kind of as equals. At least that's what he's trying. he's also trying to do that with Luffy, because they are the auction house trio. That was like their thing. Um, if I'm correct, that's like the fan name. Like that's like the like the name that the fan gave them, the auction house trio. Because we always like to give nicknames to groups. Like the old man trio, the monster trio, so on and so forth. So Oda likes to portray them as a rival. That's the narrative. But some people, they're like Kendrick. They're like Kendrick in that one song, Daddy Issues, that he's like that Kendrick. If I'm correct, in Daddy Issues, he says, "I don't care about the narrative.
I don't give a fuck what's the narrative. I am that nigga."
I'm not going to say the rest, but he's like, "I don't care about the narrative."
I just speak facts.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I love what he says after that. He's like, how does it go? When Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused.
I'm not mature as I think.
I guess I need some healing to do.
When Kanye got back with Drake, I was slightly confused. Guess I'm not mature as I think. Got some healing to do.
yeah. Good. Yeah. So some people are like Kendrick, in Daddy Issues, like they don't care about the narrative. you know. I'm probably going to I'm probably going to play the audio, because yes, I'm not doing it justice, man. Because Kendrick boys, man, I'm not doing it justice, I don't care about the narrative, or something like that. But I do. I have to think about the narrative, because that's what although he's trying to do. That's how he's trying to portray these characters. So and then going to my list, I have Yamato at 20, Sanji 19, Zoro 18, Shiryu 17. It's the same as last year, if I'm correct. Let me check really quick. Yeah, it's the same as last year. Those and Karakuri also 16. Now deep down, I really want to place Zoro above Shiryu. I do, because I don't think the Blackbeard Pirate, they're all that. I don't think they're that strong of a. Like, I don't think the members of the crew, they're that strong. So deep down, I really want to place Zoro above Shiryu, but like I said, narrowly speaking, Shiryu has to be above Zoro because since that's their
that's the narrative.
That's the narrative, because they're supposed to be like the Reverse Straw has, the Blackbeard crew. They're like the Reverse Straw has. They're theoretically speaking, they're probably going to be the last opponents that the Straw have faced in the series. So narrowly speaking, Shiryu should be above Zoro. Another thing, I don't know if you know this, Leo. Every time that Luffy goes up in the world, Blackbeard goes up in the world. So I'm assuming their crew, Blackbeard's crew, also goes up in the world. Like they get stronger. So they're always like, if Luffy gets stronger, Blackbeard gets stronger. And it's always like that. They're always like they're always parallel. Their growth is parallel to each other. So that's why they in my list they're the same. They're the same as last year. But the moment that we see Zoro find Shiryu and all that, that's when I will start placing him higher above Shiryu. And also, of course, above Karakuri. I know my ideal list, like by the end of the series, will be Zoro, Sanji, maybe Yamato if she joins the crew and we see more of her. Will probably be like top 10, maybe even top 5. I don't know. Because I do think that by the end of the series, the Pirate King crew, they have to be way above the rest.
Above the rest.
Yes. Like in this household, in my household, the word the word of Don Shin Shao is gospel, because my brother he reads One Piece. So in this household, the word Don Shin Shao is gospel. What he said in this Rosa to Luffy. And to be Pirate King, you have to be above above the warlords, above the admirals, above the Yonko. Even I don't think not sure if he mentioned Roger. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure he mentioned even above Roger. So ideally, that's how I want the series to end. with the Pirate King crew, which is obviously gonna be Luffy's crew, a couple of the rest. But right now, I have to, portray these characters from what we have seen so far. So of course, I cannot place Zoro like that high. Some people probably will, because some people are hardcore Zoro fanboys, so they will like place them probably in top 10. Some people, so yeah. And then you have Zoro 18, right? No. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. You have Zoro 18. Okay. You have Zoro one, two characters, like two characters above Sanji. Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say something.
Yeah. Because you like how I think. Zoro and Sanji, I think currently I think they're equals. Currently I think they're equal.
I think they should be equals.
Yeah.
I'll admit. I feel like Sanji hasn't done enough for me. Like
Really?
maybe I just have too high.
Wow.
Maybe I just have too high expectations for him. Like
Maybe.
like maybe I'm just spoiled rotten. But I feel like he hasn't done enough for me.
Wow.
Honestly.
No. So you
Like
saying?
maybe hopefully by the end of the series, it edges out. It goes into equilibrium. It just eases out. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
But right now, it's only right now that it's starting to get interesting because of the whole Germa powers, whatever.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Even then,
Mm-hmm.
I could argue Sanji being 20, over Yamato,
Okay.
but he hasn't done enough.
Wow.
Honestly.
Wow. So you're saying him surviving
I say
attack?
this as being a Sanji fan. I say this as a Sanji fan.
Yeah, I know you're a Sanji fan. We're both Sanji fans. But you're saying him surviving attack that kills armament hockey masters is not enough for you? Him without using armament, like that was just him in base form? You're saying that's not enough? Like
Zoro came back from the dead.
but well,
I mean, they're equals in that aspect, but I'm like, it ain't enough, my man.
Yeah, but okay, but that Zoro thing, we really don't know what happened. Like, we don't know if he actually died or, that's
he just got lost. It's just way in heaven, He just got lost.
Yeah, he got lost. That's still up in that's still up in the air. The whole Zoro thing, but still, and then after that he tanked another attack from Queen. Like he broke the sword just by standing there, and he wasn't even intentionally blocking. He was just like, he was standing there trying to figure out what just happened, and then he blocked the attack. And then his speed, he got faster because weight equals speed. So since he got heavier, so that means he got faster and all that. He got stronger. His durability improved. That was like his weakness, his durability. If I'm using that correctly, I'm pretty sure I'm using that correctly. Durability. So that was like his major flaw. But now since he got the Germo genes activated, he got like a huge boost. And also now he has E-Free Jumbo. Now he's channeling electricity now, so he's hotter. So so that means his flames are hotter. In the sense now he could generate electricity. That's really cool. And then also some people pointed out, I didn't notice this when we read the chapter. I didn't notice this, but some people pointed out that the chapter where Zoro woke up, one of the recent chapters. He woke up, and the first thing he said was, "Oh yeah, I came back from hell to kill you, Sanji." And then and in the background they were clashing. Like the good old days. It's been years since we've seen that, so they were clashing. And then some people point out that sparks were coming out from the clash. Some people they took that and like, oh, Sanji conquers confirmed. I just think it's just them clashing. Since it was way in the background. You could argue that you saw sparks, but it could just be just like clashing lines. You know what I mean? The characters they clash and you do some like clashing lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. So until we see that in the anime, we kind of jump to conclusions. We just gotta wait and see for the anime to animate that thing, or the color manga, whichever come first. Whichever come first. Um, and then so and then you have Yamato 20. I also have Yamato 20. Um, the reason I have Yamato above like Ken Law, for example, is because Yamato by herself she was handling Kaido. Granted, she didn't do no damage, but she didn't damage Kaido. But let's assume it was Law versus Kaido. Law is not going to do anything. The kid he's not going to do anything either against Kaido. Same thing with Zoro and Sanji if they were fighting Kaido by themselves. So no one's going to do anything to Kaido. But still,
I
Yamato. But still,
I still
Yamato.
make an argument for Law.
Yeah, you could, but still though, like it's Kaido. Law, his weakness is stamina. Like
Yeah.
every time he uses a room, his stamina lowers. And I'm pretty sure with Kaido, he needs like multiple awakening attack. And
Yeah.
against
Even
Big
stand a
Mom,
chance.
he kept saying, "Oh, this is my last attack," and then he does another attack. Stop capping Law. But against Kaido, I know he needs like at least the minimum. He needs like 10 awakening attack, like 10 shock wheelies. I don't think he's gonna do 10 shock wheelies in a row. So
I mean, who knows? Like every time he did it, like he said like, "Oh, the next one's my last attack."
yeah, he kept doing it. Yeah, but
Okay. The
he
next
kept
one's my last attack.
yeah
Okay. The next one's my last attack.
yeah. He kept doing, but from what I heard, don't quote me on this, but from what I heard, that's just a translation error. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I didn't fact check that, but I know some people have been saying that. Oh, that's just a translation error. He says something along those lines, like maybe like the next couple attacks are my last. Maybe he says something like that. I didn't fact check, but that's what I've been hearing some people saying. Um, but still,
And here was just him BSing.
yeah. But still, that's why I have Yamato like above Ken Law, because even though Yamato didn't do much, she still did. Also another reason is because she also has Conqueror's calling. That's something that Kid nor Law have. Kid does has Conqueror, but like I mentioned before, it's not impressive. He hasn't. Kid hasn't even used armament hockey if I'm correct. So like Yamato, from what we've seen, her mastery of like hockey is way above Ken Law. So that that's why I have. Those are like a multitude of reasons of why I have Yamato over Ken Law. And then why I have Sanji and Zoro, like I said last year, um, narrowly speaking, um, they, they have to be stronger than whoever is the next crew member, you know. So for example, Yamato, let's assume she's the next crew member, even though I have my gripes with that, but so let's assume she's the next crew member. Um, Before the king and queen fight, I'll be okay saying that Yamato was stronger than Zoro and Sanji. But now since those fights are over, and after every major fight, the Straw Hats they get stronger. So I think it's just safe to assume that they got stronger. Last year, the fight ended last year, so that's why last year I had them higher. And then since nothing has changed, that's why I just kept them. I just kept them the same thing as last year, since nothing has changed really. But so yeah, that's what I think. I just think and man, the moment that Zoro he trains with Emma, like he has a good grip with Emma. The moment that happens, the moment Sanji he learns how to like maybe improve his German genes. I don't know if he wants to do that, but or like if Frankie decides to do another Reisu for him or something, like because I'm pretty sure more power ups are coming for Zoro and Sanji, obviously. Like
Hopefully.
yeah, like I'm pretty sure the next Zoro power I'm pretty sure by before he leaves Wano, he's going to get the Nidai Kitetsu. Because currently he has the Sandai Kitetsu, and the Nidai isn't Wano, so I'm pretty sure he's going to get the Nidai. Um, I'm pretty sure you remember one. You know what I'm talking about, right? 'Cause I'm not. I'm not saying gibberish. Like you know what I'm saying.
I'll say yes, yes to cover for you.
Okay. Okay. But yeah. Okay. Okay. A refresher. Um, there's the there's the Kitetsu Blaze. There are like three famous cursed blades around the world. And Zoro he has the
Yeah.
sun. Yeah, Zoro he has the sun die, and that's the weakest of the three. And if I'm correct, he had the sun die ever since the ending of East Blue, because yeah he got the sun die, and he got the other blade. I don't know the name of the other blade. But he got those two blades, and ever since the East Blue, he had the sun die. Now we have seen the Nidai. That's the sword that Luffy got in the beginning of Wano. That he wasn't using it as a sword. He punched, the you know what I'm talking about. So
Yeah, it's punch holding it.
yeah. It was pretty funny. So that's the Nidai, but we haven't seen the Nidai ever since. Like I said, I've been rereading Wano, but I haven't seen the Nidai ever since it got introduced. So it's somewhere in Wano. Yeah, Tenguyama probably has it. So there's that. And then I keep forgetting the name of the first blade, because it's on Ni, but it's not Ishi. It's not like Ishi Dai Kitetsu. It's like a different way to say one. So the first blade, the first Kitetsu blade, someone probably has it in the world. I think Samurai Gandhi is the one who has the Kitetsu 1. That's the official name in English. Kitetsu 1, Kitetsu 2, Kitetsu 3. So I'm pretty sure Samurai Gandhi has Kitetsu 1. If not, probably someone else has it in the world. So yeah, I think by the end of the series, Zoro, his blades are going to be Enma, the Wado, Ichimonji, and Kitetsu number 1. I think those are going to be his final blades. And hopefully they're all black blades. That would be really cool. If all of them are black blades. So that would be really cool. Or maybe one of them becomes a black blade. Either way, he's going to get a black blade. And I think those are going to be his final blades. And then when it comes to Sanji, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, maybe when we meet Vegapunk, if he's a good guy, maybe Vegapunk gives him like a new racer. One that doesn't like activates his German genes no more. Maybe that'll be interesting. Because Sanji now at this point he's so he was kind of okay using the Reisu. The reason why he stopped using it because he was afraid of the person he was going to become. So, but if there's a way to prevent that, then that will be under a power up, because now in base form he has the German genes, but if he wants extra strength, then he wears the Reisu. So yeah, I think that's gonna be like Sanji's power up by the end of the series. And also, I'm a strong believer that Sanji is going to get conquerors by the end of the series. And yeah. But just in case of someone who's listening and disagrees with me, my reason is because to be a conqueror, you don't have to be the best at something. Like your ambitions doesn't have to be like, oh, I want to be like, for Zoro for example, he wants to be the greatest swordsman. Luffy, king of the pirates. So on and so forth. Roger, also he wanted to be the best. Whitebeard, he was the strongest, in his prime. He was like really strong. So you don't have to be like strong to have conquerors. There are conquerors that they don't have crazy ambitions. Like Harakiri, for example. He just wants to protect his family. Like simple, something simple. He just wants to be strong enough to protect his family. And then I'm blanking out. I know this is like a bunch of other conquerors that their goal is nothing like crazy, but so Sanji, I think his could be something similar. Like his conquerors could be like something like Karakuri. Like he doesn't want to be the strongest at something, but his goal to protect his friends like is so strong. Like that will is so strong. He unlocks conquerors. That's what I think. So yeah, that's what I think. I know there's a bunch of other conquerors like that, but there's like a whole list. But right now I'm blanking on the on the who falls in that category of conquerors. And there's some characters that they interlap. Like for example, Luffy and Roger, they interlap. You know, they want to protect their family, their friends, and also they want to be the best at something. So yeah. What else I want to say? I think that's I already mentioned a little bit of Shiryu, why I have him 17. You know, also Karakuri. To this day, Karakuri is like he has been the most impressive first commander to this day. Like
Yeah,
King,
definitely.
King,
No
yeah,
contest.
yeah, no contest. Like recently, I saw a video by JD Legend. I will talk more about this video when we get to the Ambrose. But he did mention something in that video that Oda, when he wants to like introduce a character that is like really strong or whatever, he always does something crazy. Like for example, the Ambrose. You know, like Aokishi, he was riding a bike in the middle of the ocean. Like that's insane. In the series about that if you ate their food you could drown, you know, whatever. That's crazy. Kizaru, he was riding a cannonball. No one was expecting that. I kind of knew he wasn't doing anything crazy, but he was just sitting there. And during like the war
Just
just
being
started.
angry.
Yeah, I kind of big mad, but still, the war just started. Everyone's doing their thing, but kind of he's just sitting there cross-legged. You know, he's just like staring. You know, it's a cool pose. Fujitora wasn't nothing crazy. He was just gambling.
Gambling.
But still, you know, but he did something crazy though, because you know he found out that the people were lying, so he buried them with gravity. So you know that he demonstrated a little bit of his strength. And then when it comes to the first commanders, Karakuri got introduced by killing someone with a jelly bean. Like this dude, his introduction was like, hey, this dude,
That was so.
this dude. Also, he also portrayed Future Sight, and that's in his introduction. He was like, he killed dude. Capone's like, why did you did that? Why did you kill this guy? He's like, oh, if I didn't, he was going to like break the door down and shoot a couple of the family members and kill a couple of them. So you know, I just prevented it. What jelly bean? Like that's insane. That's crazy. King on the other hand, King he didn't have a crazy introduction. Like Jack he failed. No, Jack didn't fail. Like if I'm correct, yeah. So Kaido he one shot Luffy, and then Jack was there. They went back to Onigashima, and then we hear Jack. He's like talking to someone, and they're like berating him. It's like, oh, you're a drag down, whatever. Then cut to the next page. It's King and Queen. Like they're just standing there. You know, there's nothing crazy. Like he killed dude with jelly bean, or he was riding a bike in the middle of the ocean. You know, like he was just there. It's nothing crazy. So the reason why I mentioned this is like, you know, although when he wants to introduce a crazy character, he has like this crazy introduction. And with King was like, oh yeah, he's here. You know, here's the first commander. Now, if interesting enough, a couple chapters later, King he went into his pterodon form, and he knocked Big Mom's ship. Now I think that would have been a better introduction for King. Honestly, that would have been a way better introduction because we get to know his name, and we see him in his sewing form. So I think that would have been a better introduction. Like, oh, you know, like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Like, cool. There's like this Kaido, he has a pterodon in his crew. He has man, what's that the monster from Godzilla? Rodan?
Kaiju?
Rodan.
Oh, Rodan, yeah. Rodan,
yeah.
yeah. You're talking about Rodan, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, wow, Kaido, he basically has Rodan in his crew. You know, that's cool. So if Oda did that, that would have been a better first impressions for King, honestly. But that's not the only thing. You know, like also he doesn't have Conqueror's hockey from what we could tell. So that's also like, you know, like that's crazy. You know, like you're part of Kaido's crew. Like I think you should have Conquerors. You know, like just a little bit.
Yeah,
you
for
know?
someone called King.
Yeah, like funny since you mentioned that. I remember someone did edit that the scene like the edit was like King talking to Jack. I forgot no, or to Who's Who. I think it was to Who's Who. And then the edit was like Who's Who. Do you know why it's called Conqueror's Hockey? I mean, the King's Hockey. It's because I invented it. You know, like that was people hyping King up. Yeah, that was like that edit was way before we seen King fight. So that was just like people hyping King up. You know,
Yeah.
hoping that he has conquerors. It just, man, it's hilarious though, because it's hilarious. It's really funny. He's like, you know what's called King's Hockey because I invented it. And then King the wildfire. It was funny. It was funny. But yeah, and then also Marco, from what we could tell, he also doesn't has conquerors. But the reason why I have him over King is because Marco, he demonstrated that he could handle King and Queen by himself. Yeah, he was kind of nerfed because he was also healing the people. He was like using his flames to heal everyone while Chopper made the cure. So he was kind of nerfed. He was kind of he was handling a bunch of plays at that moment. So but I'm pretty sure he was like 100%. I think he could really handle them by himself. Maybe he wasn't going to win, but he probably would have done a decent, like he would probably done some decent damage. At least that's what I think. And Karakuri, that's why Karakuri is so high up there when it comes to the first commanders, because it's just the man, he's insane. Like he's crazy. And I can't wait for the day. I can't wait for the day to say Zoro and Sanji are above Karakuri. Because to me, Karakuri, he's that guy. He's that guy. Yeah, I can't wait for that day. And yeah, so I think that's good. I think for the 16th, So now let's move on to my 15. So my number 15. I remember that last year we did the joke about the Burger King lettuce. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it now again because it's rehashing old jokes. But number 15, I have Sengoku, the Garp, Rayleigh, Beckman, and 11. Last year was Luffy. This year is our boy Aramaki. Green Bull, real cute. So Luffy, he's somewhere else. Luffy, he's somewhere else on my list. So what about you, Leo? What about you?
So number 15 I have Sengoku.
Okay.
Number 14 I have Rayleigh.
Okay.
13 I have Garp. 12 I have Aramaki.
Oh, okay.
11 I have Isho Fujitora.
Oh, Fujitora. Okay. So 15 Sengoku, 14 Rayleigh, right? 13 was Garp. Okay. 12
is Aramaki Green Bull.
Okay. And then 11 was
Isho Fujitora.
Okay, Fujitora Isho. Okay. So we have the Omen trio in the same area, 15 to 13. We just have them in different order. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're interchangeable. Like to me, I'm pretty sure for a bunch of other people, they're like interchangeable because they're the Omen trio. Like you could place them anywhere. For me, I'm okay with wherever you place them as long as they're together. Because I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there's people that they think that they should be lower. Fine, as long as you place them right next to each other, I'm okay with. Once you start splitting them, like putting Rayleigh on number 5 or Garp on number 5, something like that, then we have a problem. But if you have them together, I'm okay with if you have them together. The reason why I have Rayleigh like 13 is because in my opinion, the pirates, although he always portrays the pirates, at least the strong pirates, he portrays them as stronger than the Marines. At least that's how I see it. And then I remember a long time ago, I forgot who did this video, but I know someone mentioned in the video that he believes there will never be a Marine with Conquerors because the Marines, it's an organization, right? There's rankings. Obviously there's an obvious hierarchy, obvious rankings. One dude reports to another dude. So because of the system, he believes that there will never be a conquerors in the Marine, because the Marine is not like a not like it's not like a like if you're a Marine, basically you don't have ambitions to be like the best at something. It's because there will always be someone above you, like ranking wise. And even if you're the fleet admiral, there's still someone above you. There's the commander in chief. I think that's higher than the fleet admiral, if I'm correct. Don't quote me on that title. But
Oh, and you answer to the old man.
yeah, and then so
And there's
there's
a
always
lesser dragon. Well,
yeah, so there's always someone above you. So I think that's why the dude said there will never be a conquerors in the Marine. Turns out Sengoku, he has conquerors. We still haven't seen in the series, but Oda, and we're not even sure if that was like from Oda, because that was like in the Vivid card. And the the Vivid cards, they could be they could like contradict the story. So until we see Sengoku use conquerors, it's not like not confirmed. But anyway, so Rayleigh, he has conquerors, right? So just because of that, that's why I place him above the other two. You know, just because of the conquerors thing. Other than that, you still could interchange them. Garb, of course, he's like crazy strong. Sengoku, he's crazy strong. So yeah, I'm okay with if they're interchangeable. Then you have Aramaki at 12, and then you have Isho. So any reason for Aramaki being 12, nothing like that, like beneath Isho, nothing at all.
well, cause like at that point we're going to admiral level. Like uh, it's admiral level tier characters. Like I know that I said I
Mm-hmm.
didn't do it by tiers, but like it
Yeah.
it, it loosely follows the power scaling, if
Yeah.
you could
Yeah.
call it like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like we haven't seen much of each admiral. Like to say like, oh, this one's definitely the best
Mm-hmm.
of them. Like this is the
Mm-hmm.
strongest of them.
Yep.
Like at that point, comparing all the admirals, I'm comparing them by their abilities, like by their devil fruits.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like
Mm-hmm.
controlling planets isn't as impressive as controlling gravity.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Interesting. Funny
And
enough. Funny enough. Other people are saying the opposite, but go on. Some people are like very impressed with what Green Bull's doing, which yeah, I'm also impressed, but still though,
I mean, it is cool.
it is
It is
impressive.
cool. He landed at number 12.
Yeah. Like it is impressive, but gravity still is more impressive than planet manipulation.
Yeah.
But still, I get what you mean. I get what you mean. So, same thing as you. We're also entering the Admiral level. Isho. I mean, not Isho. Aramaki. Number 11. His color is orange, so he's of course Admiral level. Uh, last year, last year he was number 10. Like I mentioned, Luffy was number 11. Um, I had to make some changes, so that's why he's now 11. But still, I was thinking, this was my mindset when I was making this list for this video. I was thinking to put Mihawk at number 11, because I was the way how I was thinking was like, okay, I think the top 10 should be admirals and yonkos. That should be the top 10, right? I have Mihawk and admiral level, right? And I do think Mihawk could beat the admirals. Probably like not easily, but it's gonna be a fight. But he still could beat them. But the reason I was thinking, should I put him at number 11 instead of where I placed him, is because I could also see Mihawk as the gatekeeper for the top 10. You know what I mean? Like for example,
Yeah, yeah.
not do you read One Punch Man, or have you seen season 1 and 2?
I only seen the first season.
Okay, good. That's good enough. So not sure not sure if you remember, But in season one, we got introduced to this character named Amai Mask or Sweet Mask, the English translation. Do you remember Amai Mask? He was the he was the number one hero in the A class. He was number one in the A class.
Uh,
I'm going to assume that you don't. Are you looking him up?
no, no. I mean, I could look. But like, A class was the lead, right? The top of the top.
No, because it was A and then came S. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. S was the top of the top. So the
Yeah.
reason why I bring this up because if you know, my mask, he claims my mask himself claims that he could easily be S, but the reason why he stays in A is because he thinks like he wants to be the gatekeeper for S. So that's why he has stayed as the top one in the A class. So my reasoning for potentially placing Mihawk at 11 was that like like I was like, should I place Mihawk at 11 and think of him as the gatekeeper for the top tier, for the top tiers, you know? At the end, I decided not to do that because I placed them where I placed them, but that was like I was thinking about that. I was thinking, should I place them at 11 for he could be like the gatekeeper, you know? Do you understand what I mean? Like, am I making
Yeah.
sense?
Like
Yeah.
separated, like.
Yeah. Um, maybe in the future I will do that because of course we're going to see now at this point. Hopefully, like I mentioned earlier, we're getting to the end game. So I'm pretty sure now, although he's going to hold no stop. No, he's going to go ham with the characters. He's going to show what they could do. So maybe like let's say the last tier we do, maybe I could do that because by that point we already know everyone's strength. Hopefully. But right now I went against doing that. But I was really considering putting Mihawk at 11, and to make him as the symbolic gatekeeper of the top tiers. But I decided not to do that, and I have Aramaki at 11. Aramaki last year, some people I remember some people last year they placed them like low on the tier list because of course last year we haven't seen him. But I'm under the mindset. Yeah, I know you agree with me because last year we had the same discussion. But we're you and me we had the mindset of that the Ambrose they should be together because they're Ambrose. like he got that title for a reason. Same thing with Fujitoro. So we're under the mindset that they should be together. Other people for some reason, so I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, but other people they disagree. Other people they separate the Ambrose to like they place them all over the tier list. Some like for example, this is just throwing an example. It's not no one specific, but for example, Green Bull number 25, and then Fujitoro 16. You know what I mean? Like I seen that.
Yeah, something insane.
Yeah, I seen that happen. I seen it many times. So yeah, like I really don't get it. I really don't know how they why they think that, how they think that. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. But so I guess that being said, I guess we could go with our 10 to 6 because since we're talking about Ambrose. So my 10 is Fujitora, number 9 Kizaru Borsalino, number 8 Kusan Aokiji, number 7 Sakatsuki Akainu, and number 6 Mihawk. So since we're talking about Ambrose, basically number 11 to 6 are my Ambrose, like my Ambrose level characters. And hopefully yours are the same. I don't know, Leo. Let's see who's your 10 to 6. Who's your 10 to 6?
Well, number 10 I have Kizaru Borsalino.
Okay.
Number 9 I have Mihawk.
Okay.
8 I have Aokiji.
Okay.
7 I have Akainu.
Mm-hmm.
And 6, you're not gonna predict this. Im.
Im. Okay. Yeah, last year you did the same thing last year. Last year you threw an Eam, and I didn't saw that coming. But
I, I had to put Eam somewhere. Like they are powerful.
and then I honestly
In what way
thought,
I don't know, but
yeah. I thought this year you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna play Scheme because we really haven't seen anything about him. But no, but no, this year you're like, oh, Eam, he's back at it again, and you placed him at number 6. If I'm correct, last year he
yes,
was like 12. Last year he was 12, right? 12, 13, 14,
yes.
around there.
Like I put him below at the Admirals,
Mm-hmm.
just like as a like to gatekeep, like
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I really don't know the power that they have. Like, is
Mm-hmm.
it just strictly government power, or is it actual physical battle prowess?
Yeah, probably. Let's assume that Eam is immortal because I do think Eam is probably like immortal or something like that. Like if Eam is immortal, I'm pretty sure Eam trained a little bit. Like I don't know. Like if I was immortal in the One Piece world, I would train just in case if someone tries to like topple down the world government. You know what I mean?
You true.
Yeah, like to
Yeah, yeah.
protect, like for that way I could like fight the Luffy's of the world. You know, the Rogers of the world. You know, just in case if they get close enough to topple the world government. You know. But on the other hand, from what we've seen, Eam probably wants to keep themselves a secret from the world. You know, so
Yeah, yeah.
maybe on the other hand, Eam probably doesn't even worries about training. Maybe I don't know. Still, I hope Eam knows how to fight because I think that would be interesting. You know, because that's like shonen 101. You know, like there's a hidden villain in the background, and that villain is like stronger than the last villain. Like it's like this is like the ultimate villain and the hero. This is like their last fight. So it's like typical shonen 101. At least all the had the foresight to introduce Eam relatively, not that late in the game. Like, yeah, it's end game, but it's not like other series like Naruto, for example. I'm not going to spoil, but Naruto, for example, Bleach in a way, kind of, other series, so at least all the differently, compared to other series. And and then who else you have? Oh yeah, you have the Ambrose. Why do you have why do you have Mihawk in between two Ambrose?
Like, I think I'm repeating myself from last year, but like, cause like Mihawk, I say that he's also admiral level.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I always
Yep.
put him uh to separate Aokiji and Akainu from the rest of them, cause we have seen what Aokiji and Akainu can do, cause they
Yeah.
fucked up the climate of Thriller Bark.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean Punk
Wait,
Hazard.
it's
Punk Hazard.
Punk Hazard, Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like they affected the whole climate, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
half and half.
Mm-hmm.
One's polar climate, the other's volcanic. Like
Yep.
they made an island Todoroki. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
insane.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I get you. I get you. I get you, but
Like and
uh huh.
it's not like the others can't do it, but like they haven't done it. Like I don't have proof for them.
We haven't seen it.
Like yeah, like I'm pretty sure like of all the admirals, like Borsalino's supposed to be like the most cracked one. Like his is light.
Yeah, he's light.
Like
Yeah.
like he should be a number one, like with that ability.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. But because of his personality, maybe that's why he's not the strongest between the three. You know, because of
yeah.
because of how he acts. But speaking about changing the environment, remember when I told you last chapter that Greenbow he changed, he started growing plants in Ulan, the prison, and then
Mm-hmm.
I told you, oh, what if he's growing the plants like every time he walks, right?
Yeah.
And then you mentioned something like maybe not, but could be. So the last panel, I didn't notice this, and you didn't either because you didn't brought it up. So we didn't notice that he's doing that because on his way to Wano, behind him was like flowers growing and grass. So
Yeah, there's a field. Yeah,
either he's doing that intentionally or he's doing that passively. So that's like something he could
yeah,
do passively,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I heard that every Ola, he loves his gags, right? He loves his gags. So
Yeah.
someone mentioned, Randy Troy mentioned this like in today's stream. Yeah, I think it was today's stream. He brought it up. He and the other guy, they brought up that what if Green Bull's gag is that he accidentally does good, like like yeah, he went there to get Luffy and defeat the Beast Pirates, but he accidentally brought life to Wano because of his Dofru. That's like his gag. Like he accidentally does good even though he doesn't want to do good. And I could see that. I could see that as a gag for Green Bull. Oh, will be interesting. Um, either way, he's fixing Wano. Either it's intentionally or not. So we could because of that we could assume he's a Logia. We could assume he's a Logia because we only see Logia do something like that. And there's something that I keep forgetting. Every now and then I get reminded that Ace did something similar when he went to Drum Island. That the when he went to Drum Island, it didn't snow for 5 days, if I'm correct, because he went there. And Drum Island is it's always snowing. So
Yeah.
yeah, so do you remember that? The thing that I mentioned about Ace and
Nope.
Drum Island? Alright. So I always forget, but every now and then someone reminds me, like a YouTuber or like a real tweet or whatever. Like I always get reminded that Ace did that. I'm like, oh yeah, he did that. That's impressive because he's a Logia, and because of that, that's why we assume that Logias could manipulate the weather with maybe with their awakening, or that's just a passive thing they could do if they get strong enough. So it's interesting. The thing that you mentioned about the but the confirmed characters are Akainu and Aokiji. Those are like confirmed because we've been there. We've been to the island, and it's not like Ace. Ace was like 5 days. No, Aokiji and Akainu is like permanent. It's permanent. It's a permanent change.
Permanently.
Yeah, yeah. So that's even crazier. And so yeah, I understand why Mihawk is between the two because you want to separate like the others from those two.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But that like I mentioned earlier, I have Mihawk above the Ambrose because I do think he could beat the Ambrose. I honestly do think he could beat them. Because he's the world's strongest swordsman. Some people they make fun of him that Mihawk was sweating against Beast during the war. Mihawk, he couldn't cut Josu. But I just like to think he just wasn't serious. He wasn't taking it seriously. Mihawk,
Well, he was playing with them.
yeah, he was
Just
just
like he
playing
did
with
with
them,
Sword.
yeah, just like he did with Zoro's. Mihawk, he's that type of character that he would just play around. And then something that I reread recently. I think I was looking for an image or something, and I reread the part where Shanks meet up with Whitebeard, for the first time. And then Whitebeard mentions that he mentions like, oh, Shanks, those legendary duels you have with Mihawk, they're like the stuff of legends. And I'm like, okay, so Mihawk, like I knew, like obviously I know that's like known, that's like something known about the lore of Shanks between Mihawk. But the thing that I forgot is that how Whitebeard said it. Like Whitebeard was like yo, like those fights were like legendary, like he was like really he was really hyping those fights up. And then some people they I guess I do like to think that some people they forget that like Shanks and Mihawk, they they're at one point in their life they clashed, like they had like these
Yeah, they were sword
legendary,
fighting.
yeah, they had these legendary duels, so that's why I do think he's at that level, he's that guy. And then another thing, the going back to the narrative, going back to the narrative, Zoro, Zoro Mihawk is Zoro's end game. That's his goal. And like I said earlier, I do think by the end of the series, Luffy's crew, they're gonna be top of the top. So once Zoro surpasses Mihawk, that's like Zoro will be up there. Zoro will be like in the tippity top, in the top tier. So yeah, that's why I think that's why I place Mihawk so high up. I think from between the other One Piece YouTubers, I'm probably one of the few who place Mihawk so high. Not that many people place him that high. Like maybe top 15, like the lowest. But like, I have him relatively high, like I think compared to other people. Now, something that I mentioned earlier that I said I was going to bring up once I mentioned the Ambrose. Now, Leo, I don't know about you. You don't follow no one on One Piece Twitter, right? Like no one
Yeah,
on
barely.
barely. And then you don't watch other One Piece YouTubers, right? If I'm correct.
Barely.
Okay. So ever since 1043, right? That's the last chapter. If I'm correct. No, 1053, right? That's the last chapter that dropped.
Not sure.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's 1053. Yes, so many chapters numbers, let me just check really quick. I'm pretty sure it's 1053. 1053. So ever since 1053, people are saying that Ambrose over Yonko, like Ambrose, they could, one Ambrose could be a Yonko, like
Wait,
Yonkos are in the mud, like
wait,
ever
wait,
since.
wait, can you repeat that again? I didn't hear you.
Okay, so I said that ever since 1053, people have been
Yes.
saying like a majority of people, or you could say it's the loud minority, but a bunch of people are saying that because of the chapter, Ambrose over Yonko. Like the Ambrose are all the Ambrose are over Yonko. The Ambrose always have been over the Yonkos. The Yonkos, they're weak. Like one
Oh no.
Ambrose. Like yeah, you need one Ambrose versus one Ambrose could take one Yonko by himself.
No.
Crazy. People like blasphemy. People,
Oh,
people,
that's crazy talk.
crazy talk. Like I don't know what they're on about. So, and no, the thing is, the craziest thing is that people are saying that they've been it's been obvious, oh, it's been obvious that the Ambrose have been over the Yonko, and I'm like, did we read the same arc, the same Marineford? Like, did we read the same Marineford? like like what Marineford did you read that you think that
Yeah.
Ambrose have always been above the Yonko, like I'm under the mindset that you need at least the bare minimum 3 Ambrose versus 1 Yonko, at least
Yes.
3, and that's on a good day. I'm saying that's on a good day. you know that's on a good day for the Ambrose. Like you need at least 3, and then like the person that shocked me the most, because like people been at it, so the person that shocked me the most was Randy Troy, one of the One Piece YouTubers. Like he like not sure, Leo, not sure if you're aware, but next week is gonna be the Reverie. You remember what's the
Oh
Reverie,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, the annual event. Well, usually annual. There are a whole bunch of One Piece YouTubers. Discuss various things about One Piece.
Yeah. So next week is gonna be the Reverie, right? Hosted by JD Legend, So and then and Randy Troy, every time there's a break, so every Friday when there's a break, he gets another One Piece YouTuber, and they do a live stream, and they discuss theories. It's called theory for theory, right? So So since it's a break month, every every Friday he's been doing this. So at today's stream, the other guy, the other YouTuber, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. But the other YouTuber, he asked Randy Troy, "What do you think is going to happen this year Reverie?" Because he's new. This is his first Reverie. So he's like asking Randy, "What do you think is going to be discussed?" For he could prepare himself. And Randy, he mentioned, "Oh well, power scaling is going to be brought up, this and that, blah blah blah." And then the thing that surprised me was that Randy mentioned that he always thought the Ambrose were above the Yonkos. I'm like, what? Really? He's like, yeah, I always thought, Ambrose. He quickly glossed over that. Like he mentioned it under his breath. He's like, oh yeah, Ambrose above Yonko. And then they continue with the conversation that they were having. And I'm like, wow, like I can't believe there's actually people out there that they genuinely believe that Ambrose above Yonko. Like I don't know. I really I don't know. I don't know what they're. I don't know. If they're smoking something. I don't know. I just can't see it. I generally can't see Ambrose above Yonko. I don't know. Like if it does happens, like let's say if it happens, let's say I don't know, like Kaido. Let's assume Kaido he's still alive, and then Akainu fights against Kaido, and Akainu beats him. It's like like if that happens, like I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a different man. Oh wait. Not, have you seen Les Miserables? Not sure if you've seen it.
Oh, that's the movie slash musical, right?
Yeah. But have you seen it?
I have not. I
Okay,
have not.
so do you know how it ends? Do you know any spoilers?
No, I know how it starts.
Okay, so I was going to make a Les Miserables reference, but it's a huge spoiler, so I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
But yeah. What's the dude's name? I forgot his name. Let me look up. Let me just say. Let me look up. I forgot the dude's name. Let me see. I'm looking up. Cast. Javert. So basically, I'm gonna do a Javert. Yeah, by the if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Like if that happens, it's like my world got turned upside down. Like I don't know what's up and down, left or right. I just don't know what I'm gonna do, man. If that day comes, if that day ever comes. But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like also, but something else that's crazy is that there's people that they really disrespect. They really disrespect the Ambrose. Like that's even crazier. I don't know what's crazier. Saying Ambrose or Yonko or saying that Ambrose are low tier. I I don't know what's crazier. But there are people that they do disrespect the Ambrose, and yeah, King of Light think he's one of them. I disagree. I don't think he disrespects them too much. I don't think he's that crazy of an Ambrose hater. But like it just even at One Piece, the day that One Piece ends, we see every fight. We see everything. We see what Akainu could do. We see what Aokichi could do. We see what everyone could do. I think
Yeah.
I think people are still going to argue about this even like years later after One Piece ends. I really don't see people coming to a consensus about the Emerald versus Yonko debate. I really don't. And that's still that's kind of interesting because people will still have debates about it. And it will be interesting to see people take once One Piece ends. I'm pretty sure you're on the same boat with me, right? You disagree with the Emerald versus Yonko, all that, right?
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really don't know what those peoples are using in their off time. Like
Yeah.
that's some strong stuff, honestly.
Yeah, really strong, really strong stuff. Um, if like it's like have you seen the new Snoop Dogg Eminem song? Have you seen the music
Yeah,
video? If I'm correct, if I'm correct, Snoop Dogg at the end of the video, he's like, "Oh, there's no prop shit. You know, this is like the thing that killed John Wayne Gacy or whatever, something like that." He's like talking about the weed.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what they're smoking. They're smoking the the Snoop Dogg weed from that music video. Like,
yeah. Like if it's bigger than the palm of his hand.
yeah. Oh yeah, Eminem said that, right? It won the.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's bigger than the
yeah,
palm of his hand.
yeah, dude.
So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. I don't know. I can't wait. I can't wait for this year Reverie. Ooh, this year Reverie is gonna be wild because I think it's gonna be like 30 people in this Reverie, and
Dang.
yeah. Like I think each year more and more people get invited because the community gets bigger and all that. My goal is to be one of the Reveries. That's my goal. Hopefully I hopefully I get there. Knock on wood. But since they don't do this every year, so hopefully by the next one, I get big enough to be in it. Also, I don't know how they're gonna do with the invites, but hopefully you could also be in a sense. The channels you and me and Molly. So I don't know. Yeah, but that's hoping. That's hoping. Also every year gets longer. Last year was like 11 hours. Like last year was, I mean, not last year, the last Reverie. I keep saying last year because it feels like it was last year, but it wasn't last year. The last Reverie was 11 hours, and that was wild. And the one before that, I think, was like 6 or 8. Well, they just get longer and longer. So this
So
year,
the next one's gonna be 24/7.
oh man. And the thing is, the host this year, JD Legend, he was joking. He was joking that his laptop is not strong enough to be on for like 11 hours. So he's like, "Oh, I gotta buy a new one," So yeah. Oh, and then JD Legend, he's known for, like, he's not a controversial figure, but he's known for pushing agendas. Like, yeah. So I know it's gonna be hilarious. I know it's gonna be hilarious this year. But yeah. Now that was like a tangent with the Reverie and the Ambrose and all that. Now let's finish off. Now we're gonna go one by one. So I want you to go first. What's your number 5? What's your number 5?
Well, before I go on, I'm just gonna say
Mhm.
like this
Mhm.
one I did follow the narrative.
Oh yeah. So throughout the whole list, you were like Kendrick. You were like Kendrick, but but now you no longer have daddy issues, and you're like, okay, let me follow the.
I shoot me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah. You're like, I choose me, I'm sorry. But throughout the whole list, you were like, I got daddy issues and that's on me. That yeah, that was you throughout. Man, that's a peak song though. That's peak Kendrick right there. I don't know, for me, I really love daddy issues. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So okay, you choose you and you're sorry. So what's your number 5?
Big Mom.
Wow, nah, Leo. Wow, Big Mom. Big Mom.
Yeah.
Charlotte Lindley herself. Let me write this down. Big Mom. Okay, wow. Okay, so let me show my number 5 then. So my number 5. You haven't seen him, but you know him. You know him since chapter 1. It's our boy, Monkey D. Luffy. It's our boy, Monkey D. Luffy. If you don't know the joke, it's what's his name? From the from the
Jeff Keighley.
Jeff Keighley. If you don't get the joke, I know it's Monkey D. Luffy, but Jeff Keighley, when he introduced the
Monkey D.
when, when he introduced the One Piece Odyssey game and the thing, what was it? It was a PlayStation, or he was just talking about games, right? I don't remember what console specifically.
Yeah. It was either State of Play or it was the Xbox one.
Yeah, and one of them, it was either of those. He said, instead of saying Monkey D. Luffy, he said Monkey D. Luffy. So
Yeah.
so yeah, but yeah, Monkey D. Luffy, Monkey D, big D. Luffy, big big D. Luffy. He made it to the top 5, man. At least in my list, he made it to the top 5.
Yeah.
And Wow, you have. I think about it, you have Big Mom on number 5, man,
Yeah,
and Luffy. You
I'm
haven't.
following the narrative.
Yeah, you haven't mentioned Luffy. Oh, ooh, ooh, oh, it's gonna be crazy.
You're not
It's
gonna
gonna be.
like number four.
I'm
You're
not.
not gonna like number four.
Number 4. The way
You're
that
not
you
right
said
for number four.
the way that you said that, it's like one of those like ads or whatever, or like top 10 lists. It's like you're not going to like number 4. Like you're not. Ooh,
Number four might shock you.
yeah. Yeah. Number 4. You got me. You got me there. Number 4 might shock you. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I haven't. This is the first time I genuinely laugh in the video. You got me there. I really wasn't expecting you saying that. But but yeah, number 4 might shock you. Wow. Wow. Okay. I need to know what's number 4 before I talk about Big Mom. So okay, who's your number 4 then?
I hate myself for this, but like number four, Kaido.
Wow. That shocked me. That shocked me. Wow. Wow. Okay. Now I know where you're sorry, Leo. Now I know where you choose you and you're sorry. Man. Man. Okay, so my number 4 is Blackbeard. Okay. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm going to guess. I'm going to assume. Wait. Okay. Wait. Wow. You haven't mentioned Luffy, so Luffy either he's number 3 or 2. I know he's not number 1. I know. I know he's not number 1.
You don't know. You don't know that.
No, Leo. Leo. No. You're not. You're not. Like. You're not that crazy. You're not that crazy. You know. But But I know why Luffy is above Big Mom Kaido. I think I know why. Because I guess narrowly speaking, he's above them. Narrowly speaking.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
It pains me to say this, but yes.
Yeah. But I also choose me and I'm sorry. and no. Like I'm now I'm like Kendrick. Now I'm like Kendrick. Daddy issues. I got daddy issues. That's on me. And I don't care about the narrative. Like I don't think Luffy power wise. Okay, power wise, I don't think he's above Big Mom Kaido. But status wise, he is because he's a Yonko now. He's an emperor. Status wise, he's above them. Power wise, I don't think he's above them. And I need to know. I need to know who's your number 3 before I continue.
You scared. You scared.
Yeah. I need to know. I need to know before I continue talking.
Number 3,
Mm-hmm.
the one and only Monkey D. Luffy.
Monkey D. Luffy. Okay. Big D Luffy made it. Okay. He made it into your top 3. Wow, that's crazy. And then so
I mean, you're fighting insane.
Yeah. It's wow. I can't believe it. Like it's crazy. It's crazy that Luffy now he's in, at least in my opinion and yours, he's top 5 material. At least yours is top 3.
Yeah.
But he's top 5 material. And
Yeah.
we always knew this day will come because like it's obvious. This day will come. But it's still crazy. It's still crazy to think about that Luffy. I'm pretty sure we're not the only one. We're not the only one because Gear 5th is like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like Luffy said in that chapter, 1044 if I'm correct. Yeah, because she his laughter. So in 1044, what he said. This is Gear 5th. This is Gear 5th. This is my peak. Like, and then we know he's gonna get stronger because he still needs to train with Gear 5th. He still needs to perfect it, and once that happens, it's like it's crazy.
It's
It's
game
crazy.
over.
It's game over. It's game over. And man, you love to see it. You love to see it. You love to see Big D. Big D Luffy. He's finally in the top 5. And then so my number 3 is a Big Mom. And then let's reveal. So I'm going to reveal my number 2. That is Kaido. Who's your number 2?
Number 2, but I forgot now. I need to check that list again.
Yeah, check
Oh
that
yeah, no,
list.
Blackbeard, 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 Blackbeard. It was
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard.
Wow. Kurohi, Blackbeard. Marshall D. Marshall
Marshall
D.
BT.
Marshall D. Teach. Wow. And then of course I'm hoping your number one is Shanks because he's my number one. Who's your number one?
Oh, Shopper. No, I'm kidding. It's Shank.
Chopper. Okay. Wow. You know what? That's Chopper. That's like the most sanest thing you have said because like Raizo number 29. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. And then but Luffy number 3. That's even crazier. But well, you said you Shanks, right? Shanks number 1. Okay. So now we have our top 10, our top 30, our top 5. Okay. So you have Luffy over Big Mom and Kaido, which
Yeah.
narrowly speaking, that's understandable because the he has the status and all that. He has the status of the Emperor, so it makes sense narrowly speaking. Like I said, strength wise, I don't think he's above them. I think the moment that Luffy could beat one of them 1v1 like by himself, full health, I think that's when he's above them. But since we don't know,
I
if
honestly think he is. Honestly.
what you said? I didn't hear you. What you said?
I honestly think he can be like
Mm,
he did with Kaido. Like they were already both weakened when it
mm.
happened.
Well, that's
Like
what. Yeah. Well, that's where we differ. I don't think he could still. I think he still needs a little bit more training. For because him versus Kaido wasn't on 1v1. Like it was first the Scabbers they fought against him against Kaido. That was a 1v9, and they did some damage. I guess some decent damage a little bit. And then Luffy and the rest it was a 5v1. No, well, it was a 5v2 because Big Mom was there also. But they were focusing on Kaido mostly. And then then it became a 1v1, and Luffy got shook. Luffy he got shook because he
oh
got
definitely.
yeah because he got, like Kaido said, he got a little bit cocky since he learned about Conqueror's Calling. And then the next round started, and Luffy was doing decent. He was in base form. He was handling Kaido, and then he went Gear 4. But Kaido still was handling everything. But by himself. So and then Gear 5 happened. Once Gear 5 happened, it was like Luffy versus Don Flamingo. When Luffy went Gear 4 against Don Flamingo, that was game set match. Like my favorite one of my favorite quotes in the series. I have mentioned many times in the channel, but one of my favorite quotes is Luffy punches Don Flamingo, and then in Gear 4 Don Flamingo goes flying, and then there's this random civilian like, Don Flamingo, what are you doing here? And he's like, I'm asking myself the same question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Luffy Gear 5. So Gear 5 Luffy versus Kaido was like that. Like Luffy was manhandling Kaido in Gear 5. That's like crazy. In dragon form, he was like jumping rope with Kaido, tossing him around, doing some Looney Tunes shenanigans here and there. So yeah, all that was impressive, but I still think that a 1v1 like from the beginning, like let's say Luffy and Kaido 1v1 right now from beginning, like they're both 100%, no interference from anyone, and it's just them. I still think Kaido could have a little bit of advantage, just a little bit, because Luffy still haven't mastered Gear 5, and they both will be at 100%. But it's still cool. It'll be a tough fight. It'll be a tough fight. It's not gonna be like Kaido. He's going to one shot Luffy now. No, it's gonna be a tough fight. But I think maybe once I'm still hoping for the Luffy versus Big Mom fight, because like I keep saying, Oda he been teasing that since Fishman Island. So hopefully that's something he delivers. The Luffy versus Big Mom, like 1v1. So if that happens, the Luffy versus Big Mom, I think that will be, and of course Luffy will win. I think that will be one. Once that happens and Luffy wins, that's gonna be the moment that I see him be above Big Mom and Kaido. And moving on to Blackbeard, since I have Blackbeard number 4. Um, Blackbeard last year, I think if I'm correct, he was also on number 4 on my list. Let me confirm. Yeah, he was also last year. He was also on number 4, and same thing with Big Mom was at 3, Kaido 2, Shanks 1. So
Yeah.
yeah, the reason why in my list that hasn't changed is because we're going back to the narrative. Narratively speaking, the Blackbeard, like I mentioned earlier, every time that Luffy goes up in the world, Blackbeard goes up. And Blackbeard,
Yeah, yeah.
Blackbeard, he's a schemer, so he's always scheming and he's always planning and he's always getting stronger. So that's why I
Yeah.
have him. That's why I have him above Luffy because even though deep down, I think Blackbeard he's not all that. He's a cool character.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I love him. I love Blackbeard. Every time he shows up, it's peak. Some people really hate. Some people really hate Blackbeard. I find it hilarious. Every time when someone's hating on Blackbeard, I find it fuels me. Like it fills me. It fills me with laughter because it just is hilarious. Because I love Blackbeard. Everything that they hate about Blackbeard is what I love about him. So 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 yeah. Deep down, even though I love his character, deep down I don't see him as a threat. But I don't know. I just don't because he's like a schemer. He's not physically strong, but he's always scheming, and because of his schemes, he always goes on top. He always gets on top. So that's why I think like in the 1v1, I think Luffy will win. Not easily, but he will win. But narrowly speaking, he's above. He should be above Luffy. And then you have let me check your list. You have so you're number 3. You're number 4 Kaido, right? Number 3 Luffy. And then you have number 2 Blackbeard. Now you have Blackbeard pretty high. Pretty high. You have
Yes.
him number. Yeah, you have him number 2.
This is the narrative.
Because so okay, so so in your opinion, the narrative is stronger when it comes to Blackbeard. It's like stronger that he should be
Yeah,
in number 2.
it's what's building up to. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm pretty sure like there's gonna be some crazy reveal. Like Blackbeard is stronger than before. Like not because of like not only because as Luffy gets stronger, he gets stronger, but because of like who knows, he might get another devil fruit. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like him and his shenanigans.
Yep. I know.
Um
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and and the only like normally I would put Blackbeard under Kaido and Big Mom, but since I
Yeah.
honestly believe that Gear 5 could handle Kaido and Big Mom
Mm-hmm.
at the not both of them at the same time, mind you.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. That's overkill. Both of them. No, that's too much. That's too
no,
much. Yeah.
no, we need Gear 6 for that.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I feel like Blackbeard's gonna have at least another fruit that can at least go toe to toe with
Gear 5.
Sangan. Yes, the
Yeah.
Sangha mode of Luffy.
Yeah. Yeah, that I agree. Yeah, I do agree. Because before Gear 5, people were questioning how Luffy was going to be Blackbeard because Blackbeard he has 2 Dark Fruits and he probably knows a little bit of hockey because he's one of the he was actually, if I'm correct, he was the first person that mentions hockey in the series. And Jaya, he mentioned that Luffy's hockey is strong, but Luffy he's not aware because every living being has hockey. They just not aware that they could use it. So until once they start training. So he did mention, if I'm correct, he mentioned Luffy's hockey is like pretty strong, for like a rookie. So so he Blackbeard he must know, he has knowledge of hockey. He hasn't used it, but he has the knowledge. So I just thought about the knowledge guy. Knowledge. Um. So yeah. And also he has 2 Devil Fruits now because of Gear 5. Now people are like more. Now they could see how Luffy could beat Blackbeard now. But now Blackbeard he probably needs another Devil Fruit, or he needs to he probably will get another fruit. I don't know what. I don't know what their fruit, but he will probably get another one, and that will make him above Luffy with that their fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Shanks number one. Of course, we both agree on that. There's no debate there. Like what Kaido said during the Luffy fight, that hockey is like what you need to be top tier in the world. And Shanks, he's probably just a hockey user. He's a hockey man, like how people like to call them, hockey men. And when Kaido said that chapter, hockey men stocks went up. That hockey is what you need in this world to be king. So, yeah. Okay, I guess we agree on that. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say really, because we have similar, I guess, views on things. Yeah, you're a bit different in some areas. Like you separate Zoro and Sanji.
I'm trying.
Yeah. And then the Luffy, he's top 3. Stuff like that.
The narrative, man. The
Yeah,
narrative.
the narrative. But sometimes you gotta be like Kendrick, man. Yeah, you don't care about the narrative. Man, this whole video we just been mentioning, referencing Kendrick. Go listen to the album. It's a good album.
Yeah.
It's a really good Kendrick
You know what?
album.
Go listen to his discography. Go listen to his whole discography.
Yeah. So after, I don't know how, like 20 or 30-minute tangent about Kanye and Kendrick, I'm going to end the video. The main video about the top 30 tier list. So yeah, this is my list. There's also Leo's list. I have nothing else to say about our list. In my opinion, both our lists, is pretty good. We got the narrative, like we were saying throughout the whole video. We got the narrative. Sometimes we didn't care about the narrative, so, sometimes we were thinking, we got daddy issues, And man, if you haven't heard the album, the Kendrick album, you don't know what we're talking about right now. Sometimes we think about we think about the time that Kanye got back with Drake. We were still slightly confused. We're still slightly confused with that. I guess we're not mature, so we think we need some healing to do.
We have to do some healing to do.
We need some healing to do. But for the most part, we stuck to the narrative of the story, of the narrative that all is trying to do. But yeah, but no, seriously. I think our list is pretty decent. Like I know some people probably disagree. I know my brother will disagree. Actually, here's a little. My brother, he gave me his list. Here's a little bonus. I guess a little bonus at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So quick. There's gonna be lightning round. I'm not going to no time to think. Just first thing that comes to your head. Okay, number 30, Jinbei, 29, Keller, 28, Weevil, 27, Boa, 26, Sabo, 25, Lucy, 24, Dragon, 23, Yamato, 22, Marco, 21, Katakuri, 20, Shiryu, 19, Sanji, 18, Zoro, 17, Law, 16, Kid, 15, Mihawk, 14 Beckman, 13, Sengoku, 12, Rayleigh, 11, Garp, 10, Fujitora, 9, Green Bull, 8, Kizaru, 7, Aokishi, 6, Akainu, 5, Big Mom, 4, Kaido, 3, Blackbeard, 2, Luffy, and number 1, Shanks. That's my brother list. That Mihawk, he's 15. Mihawk, he's 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my brother's list. That's a little bonus at the end. He said, man, we were dying. He claims he's serious. He claims he was serious when he did this list. But he told me that if I told him this list, he's probably going to forget that this is his list. He's probably going to say, "Man, who is that idiot that top 30 list?" Uh,
I mean,
uh.
I was following him until I heard Killer.
Oh yeah, man, Killer 29. It's like, but Leo, come on now, come on, your number 29 is Rizzo.
Man, why is the number 29 cursed in this channel?
in this channel, number 29 has to be someone that we never expect in the tier list. And you know the meme.
It's a bitch at this point.
Yeah. Wait, this is gonna be the last thing though. Not sure if you remember, Leo, the clip of my number 30 is Green Bull. Not sure if you remember that clip. Do you remember the clip?
So my 30s is Green Bull.
Whoa. Time.
Oh, crap. I think I might know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah, but as a refresher, I will play the clip. I will edit the clip in the video. But as a refresher, the clip is Taekwon, and he's talking about his top 30, and the clip that I use, because I saw on Twitter, is Luffy. It's from Film Z, if I'm correct. He is Luffy walking up to a bunch of Marines and he conquered hockeys them, right? And so in the clip, they edited the audio of Taekwon saying, "So my number 30 is Green Bolt," and then the Marines, the Marines are the other YouTubers, and they getting knocked by him saying my number 30 is Green Bolt, and then they're like laughing, and it's hilarious. I will play the clip. I will play the clip because it's very funny. So in this channel, it's not number 30. It's number 29. we will get you with number 29. Either me, my brother, or Molly. We will get you with or Leo. We will get you with 29 because I know my 29 is Sabo. That's low for Sabo for some people. So we're going to get you with our number 29s. So yeah. Hope I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed this video because honestly, I thought this was gonna be a quick video because our lists are similar from last year. But I really enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one. This one was really good. Yeah. Hopefully, if you made it this far, leave a like. Leave a like if you like dislike if you don't. And like I said in the beginning, subscribe. Hit the bell as well. Hit the. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna get what's the word?
A flag.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get demonetized by saying this. But man, hit the bell like how Busher dad beat him up in the boys, or man, that was a good episode. That was a really good episode. Man, the boys the boys they just keep getting better and better. Or if you're not like Busher, a spoiler. But hit the bell like how Soldier Boy hit his whole team basically. Gunpowder, Black Noir. Oh man, that Black Noir scene was wild. I'm like, it was just cartoons, but man, I felt it. Yeah. I felt like, man, I wonder how it would look like. It was like. I wonder how the scene. I wonder if the scene will be impactful if it was like real life, because I think it's because since it was like cartoons and it was him imagining, that's how he perceived the moment. They're like, but still, watch The Boys. That's my recommendation by the end of this video. Go watch The Boys if you haven't seen it. I did kind of spoil one thing, but you probably forget about it once you get to that point. But in season 3. But yeah, that's the video. Hope you enjoy it like we did. We definitely did. And so yeah, that's the video. See ya.